guys, it's time to reveal what my third best palette of 2022 is. If you missed the other two where I revealed my top 15 and then my top 5 or my number 5 and number 4, I can link those up in the corner if you want to go check those out as well. But today we're going to be talking about the third best palette of 2022, and I am sorry to say that this palette is no longer available, but I had to mention it here because it's such a good palette and it's one that I just feel like it deserves it, and I know it's not going to be brought back. I'm sorry, but I want to play with it again because this is one of my favorite palettes of the year, and this one is from Odens, and it's one of their Christmas palettes. This one is the Merry Christmas palette, which is my favorite out of the two. The other one ended up, I think, in the number 11th spot or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but this color story is so beautiful and I'm so excited to play with this again. I do know that I want to use these two shades on my eyes today because I'm wearing a green sweater and I just think they're going to look so good. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to pair them with yet, but I'm just excited to have a play with this again because I had such a good time with these palettes, and the looks that I did, I really enjoyed, and I just feel like the color stories in both of them, this one in particular though, is just really inspiring, and I feel like very versatile. There's so many things you can do, and I'm just really excited. And I don't think that any of you are surprised that this palette ended up super high in my ranking. I know some of you expected both of these palettes to be super high, but I have to admit that I think this color story is just more what I'm feeling right now. Not to say that it's better or worse, but it's just like, you know, I feel like we all go through phases where we prefer certain colors over others, and I just feel like this is sort of the phase that I'm in right now. I tend to like warm tones, I feel like, more in like the fall and the Christmas season months, and then I feel like I gravitate more towards cool tones like in the winter months, like January, February, March, until we get to spring, and then I'm kind of like more into the pastels and brights. But anyway, let's see, what am I gonna do today? I think I want to do, like I said, I definitely want to use these. I'm thinking I want to deepen it up probably with this one, so maybe I'll do one of these in my crease. Is that going to be kind of boring? Like, am I very predictable right now? I feel like I'm just doing like a monochromatic look, but again, I kind of just want to do something. I could also go in the other, actually maybe I'll go in the opposite direction. Maybe I'll do like these kind of tones in my crease with the greens on my lid. I think that's gonna look really cool. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'm actually gonna start with this one in my inner corner, just to kind of, I am going to be probably layering shadows over the top of this, but I kind of just want to use it and put it on my eyes. So this is the shade called Best Wish, and I'm just gonna basically pack that in the inner corner of my eye as a bit of a matte inner corner highlight. But like I said, I am going to layer stuff over the top of this, but I think that this is just gonna create a really cool base for whatever I layer over the top. That is such a pretty color, like this all over the lid with like an iridescent green in the springtime. That's a super simple look that would look so good. So now that this shade is on, we're going to move into some more of the crease colors, and I'm going to be kind of boring with my crease, but I still think it's going to end up being a cool look. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is the one called Gingerbread. It is such a gingerbread color. Like, this is literally the definition of a gingerbread color. Just going to make sure that my eyeshadow primer is tapped out. If you're wondering about my nails, these are from Dashing Diva. They're absolutely stunning. I love their Christmas nails so much. Oh, look at that color. It's so pretty. Just gonna go ahead and use this as my transition shade. Just trying to not blend these two colors in too much here because I don't really want them to be too mixed together. I just want like a very slight blend on these. And I'm gonna build this up to be quite intense. I'm gonna really blow this out and make this a really intense look here. I feel like this is such a beautiful kind of, it's not a neutral, it's more of an orangey tone transition shade that still works with a lot of different colors without it getting muddy. I just think it's so beautiful. And I know a lot of you guys picked up these palettes, so let me know, what is your favorite color combination in this palette? Because I feel like there are so many things you can do with this. And I don't feel like I've even scratched the surface of what's possible to do with this palette because there are so many colors that go so nicely together. and that I would love to try, but sadly I only have 2 eyes and I can only really film 1 look per day, or even do 1 look per day, even if I just did my makeup for me, because my eyes just cannot handle doing multiple looks anymore. Like, I'm just old. My eyes are just old. They can't do this. Which is sad. I don't know how I used to do like 3 looks in 1 day before. My eyes were like raw, and I feel like it aged my eyes so much doing those, but it also was kind of fun and worth it, so I don't regret it, but I don't see myself going back to doing that. Like, I just don't really feel like it's worth it. As much as I would like to start doing like 10 look videos again and such, they just take way too long if I'm not going to do multiple looks per day. I just don't have time for that. But this would definitely be a palette that I feel like I could so easily do 10 looks with. It wouldn't even be a problem. Like, there would be no issue creatively trying to come up with 10 looks with this, because it is just, it's such a well thought out color story and so many things you can do with this. Just going back in with the fluffy brush here, and I'm gonna work on the shape of this. I am going to wing it out a little bit because I just feel like that is the best look for my eye shape personally. Just make sure that the lower lash line is blended out. I am gonna go in with a deeper color and deepen this up, but I like to just have like the outline of where I'm gonna blend that into done before I do that. And if you are playing along with the ranking, let me know what your 3rd best palette of the year has been so far. I would love to hear, because I really like knowing what you guys out there like, because everybody has such different opinions and preferences when it comes to makeup. So I think I'm gonna use the shade called Hot Cocoa to deepen this up with, because those are just gonna look really nice together. I'm just gonna start packing it on the outer corner of my eye, and I really think that the greens on the lid are going to pull this look together, and also the light green is such a beautiful color that I know I'm gonna love this look already, because so far it's looking really nice. Keeping most of the depth on the outer portion of my eye here, and I've noticed even just since I started my channel, it's getting harder to like blend in this area because my skin is becoming looser, so I tend to not pull in my shadows as much and deepen it up all the way anymore, because it's just hard to like get my brush in there properly and like really get a good blend. So I tend to usually just stick to most of the blending where I feel like my eye is better for it. And maybe I pulled this up a little bit too high. Might have to go in with the other shade a little bit just to bring this back down, but this color is so beautiful. Taking the tiniest bit of this shade down to my lower lash line as well. I'm not going to bring it all the way. I'm just going to keep it on the very outer portion here just to tie the upper and lower part together. And I'm just going back in with that blending shade that I used first, just to make sure that the edges are nice and blended between the 2 colors. I'm pretty sure I love this look already. So I'm looking at this and I feel like there is not a single shimmer, except for maybe this one, that wouldn't look great with this eye look. Like, even the orange would look so cool, like the orange in this one, or that one, or the orange. Like, every single shimmer would work for this look except for maybe the pink. So I'm gonna put on some glitter primer, because these shades especially look so good with a glitter primer underneath. Not gonna use a lot, just gonna put a little bit, just a small layer on pretty much all of my lid except for the very outer corner, because I am gonna put the dark green, and that's gonna be a little bit hard to get a smooth blend with if I have too much of a glitter primer down. So I'm gonna start with this shade, which is called New Year's. And I'm gonna try not to go overboard with this shade because I don't want too much of it. I really want the lighter shade to be the star of the show here, but I do want this to still be very visible when I'm done with my look here. Just taking my time and trying to get a good blend between the matte and the shimmer, and then I'll go back over it with the matte just to make sure that these 2 are blended together. I feel like I'm taking my shimmers up a lot higher these days than I used to, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, I think it just makes the eye looks pop even more so than they maybe used to. And then I'm just going to use the other side of this brush here, and I'm gonna take the shade called Snowman, which is one of my favorite shades in this palette. I think it is so pretty. And I'm just gonna basically put that on the rest of my lid. Oh, I already know that this is gonna turn out so good. I am layering it, as you can tell, over a little bit in that inner corner, and I'm also gonna take it basically in my inner corner as my inner corner highlight. So you may or may not see any of that matte still when I'm done with this, but I just kind of wanted to put down a little bit of it just to kind of use it. But oh, I love these two together. That looks so good. Taking a bit of this underneath my eye here as well, and by a little bit I mean probably too much. It's okay, we're gonna tone it down. I think this is all I'm gonna do for the shadows, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some lashes and something in my waterline, and I'll come back and I will show you what the final look ended up looking like. But I already love this look. The look is done and I love how this turned out. I feel so festive and like so pretty at the same time. I just, I love this. My lashes today are again the Divine Lights from House of Lashes, and I went online yesterday and I bought 6 more pairs because I have a problem. These are just my favorite lashes of all time, and I'm just gonna wear them forever. I'm probably gonna, you know, swap out with the ones that I have in my collection still, but yeah, I just always want to make sure that I have these on hand, and I love them. And I will say they're going quite strong. I think this is my 8th time wearing this pair or something like that, 7th or 8th time, and so far, I mean, I feel like I can still get another like 4 or 5 uses out of them. You can tell they're starting to kind of not fall apart, but it's a very, very thin band, so everything considered, I feel like these are holding up beautifully and I love them so much. So that's gonna be it for my 3rd best palette of 2022, and I don't think any of you were surprised by this. I feel like this is a palette that a lot of people are going to have very high up in their rankings, and I can't wait to see everybody else's rankings too. Some may have come out by the time I'm filming this, but yeah, I'm just really excited about this year's palettes because there have been so many good palettes that have come out this year. And I'm just so excited to play with my top 2 as well. Let me know down below what you think my top 2 favorites are going to be. I feel like some of you might be able to guess it, but also I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some other ranking videos, I will put my playlist up on the screen. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.